be luck. Baby, nobody feel day like you. I said nobody feel make me feel the way you do. I'ma get that low. Girl, you the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know. Money go check low. Girl, you the best I know. Our next move, they never know. 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 My lady, you know me no fit give up on you never. Wanna be with you forever, 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 forever. Oh baby, where we they go? Now forward ever, backward never. Them they pray make we run down never, 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 never. I'ma get that low. Girl, you the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know. Money go check low. Girl, you the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know.
Yes, yes, check 1, 2. Hi, everybody. There we go. A few minutes too late. We're sorry about that, but we improved the video quality for you guys. So, we hope you can hear us well and see us well. And let us know in the chat from where you're tuning in. We're back here on the Hohner YouTube channel with episode 119 of the Hohner Live. That's quite a huge number already. And we're going to continue going because there are so many harmonica players out there. It's amazing. And I'm excited about today's guest. And this is the first time we're talking to each other. Please welcome with me. I didn't even ask you how I'm going to pronounce your name, right? But this is music teacher, harmonica repair tech, customizer, and performer from Philadelphia, Boaz Kim. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, good job with the pronunciation.
Oh yeah, for real?
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
I was kind of scared.
Yeah. Boaz. Yeah. No, I know it looks scary. my 4-letter name, 4-letter first name it looks very scary. But no, you did a great job.
Nice. Yeah. This is really the first time we are talking to each other. We never met in person, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe just because I've never been to Spa.
Spa or the U.S. Or maybe you've been to the U.S.
Yeah, but not to Spa.
Not the Spa, yeah. And I haven't been to Germany yet, so.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see.
But you are a Hohner artist, right?
But yeah, this is cool. I am a Hohner artist. Thank you.
Yeah, but you've never been to Germany. Yeah, I see. So maybe it's time. Maybe next year for the World Harmonica Festival.
It's next year. That's every 4 years.
It's every
right?
4 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we can talk about a whole lot because you're not only a player but also you're working on instruments, repairing them, and playing so many different kinds of harmonicas too. So, which type of harmonica was first for you? And which kind of harmonica are you playing mostly today? Did that change at all?
Yeah, really good questions. It was probably a tremolo harmonica in that, like, that my dad had laying around in the house. He like never played it, but he had it when he was a little kid. And me and my sisters would dig around in the house, found the harmonica, and just playing it or like throwing it on the floor or something like that. So it might have been technically tremolo, but the main thing is the diatonic harmonica. And that's still kind of the main one that I'm playing today, focusing on today. And then now I'm also playing like a lot of bass harmonica. After I guess about 7 years ago, started going down the harmonica rabbit hole, playing like different types of harmonicas, and as well as like restoring them, and it goes kind of hand in hand together. So bass harmonica is next, maybe chord harmonica is next, and then the chromatic harmonica is somewhere in there too.
Okay, yeah. Because like so many people out there don't really know about these different harmonicas, you know? I mean, I guess like most people that aren't harmonica players are maybe familiar with the tremolo kind of. And that's probably what they've heard too. Maybe a diatonic too, but that's it. They aren't aware of the diatonic chromatic difference and also like these orchestral instruments, basically, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes people know it from like hit songs like Simon and Garfunkel's The Boxer, which has Charlie McCoy on bass harmonica, or like stuff from the Beach Boys with Tommy Morgan, or some TV shows. It was usually Tommy Morgan playing like bass harmonica on it. So so sometimes people really know the sound and they're really interested. They just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Because like that's also the case with like this thing of like, how does a harmonica actually sound, or like how does a harmonica sound in people's minds, you know? After concerts that I play, people tell me, oh yeah, that doesn't even sound like a harmonica. But
I know.
I mean, in the end, most parts of it actually sounded like a harmonica.
Definitely.
So what's like your favorite popular song that includes a harmonica?
Oh, that's a good question. It might be Stevie Wonder's version of For Once in Your Life.
Okay.
I think it might be that. And he's playing chromatic harmonica, of course, and he has a solo in the middle of the song, and it's amazing.
Yeah, thinking about this question, so like from catchy. The top of my head, I would also be like Stevie.
Amazing. He does very unique things. Yeah.
And I would have.
And it's like crazy.
There must be an angel
like
in
not
my mind.
His main thing, you know. Yeah. I haven't listened to that one enough. I think I've heard it like once or twice.
Yeah.
But the solo is like very fast, very, very on fire.
It sounds so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Talking about your musical beginnings, besides the harmonica, like you actually started out a little different, kind of. So, what inspired you to focus on music education first and your voice during your studies?
Yeah. Voice was kind of a surprise, but like when I was I was inspired by my middle school band teacher, music teacher, and I thought it seemed like a very cool thing. I was interested in teaching anyway, so that was really cool. And then when I was in college, I was actually a trumpet major at first, and then I was having issues with playing. Just like I couldn't keep one side of my face still. It was very interesting. So like the embouchure, I couldn't hold it together. It was like shaking. So anyway, so I re-auditioned, and I was already singing in a couple of choirs before, like for a few years. So I re-auditioned for voice and got into the vocal program there. So that was really cool. And when I was doing that, that's when I started playing harmonica again. Actually,
Okay.
when I switched to voice, yeah.
But do you still feel a connection between the two instruments, kind of?
It's yeah, I do. It's starting to fade a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like there are some, but there are also some big difference. Because like also during my studies, I had some vocal lessons, and like the big thing, or like the big difference for me, I had to adjust to was basically okay. Playing harmonica, you actually moving air, and when singing, you actually don't want to move that much air. It's more like you want to have the note vibrate here, and like you
Yeah.
don't want to lose too much air.
Yeah.
And that's where I struggled
Yeah,
singing.
you're totally right about that.
I mean, in terms of, I don't know,
Yeah,
resonance
you're
and
totally right
stuff,
about that.
it's very
I think,
similar.
like, the one term, it is. It is. Like, resonance, especially with, like, bending notes or overblows and stuff like that. A lot of it's very similar, at least, like, the technical things of, like, how you shape your mouth, the vowel sounds of words. But yeah, the breath thing, you're right. It is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
So how often do you still make use of your voice, like in performance situations or recording you yourself singing?
Yeah, it's actually not very often right now. Not very often right now, but like if there's an opportunity during a gig to sing like backup vocals or something like that, like yeah, then it happens.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started singing at one of my very first gigs, but that was super scary because it was a weird situation. Like I didn't have too much time to rehearse with the band, and we played Just Your Fool, which isn't the standard 12-bar blues. So,
No,
like,
it's not. I think it's a 8-bar in the beginning.
I don't know, yeah.
Like
but
that.
like actually while singing, I had to like show the band members which chord to play, like 1 4 5. So
Yeah.
I couldn't really focus on the singing, and it felt terrible. And like after doing that, like I stopped singing for many years.
Oh.
Billions and billions and billions.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
But like sometimes I do it again, but only if I feel like people in the audience don't know me.
Oh no. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think I think I saw a video of you singing at like the Seoul Harmonica Festival.
Oh yeah, that's why I felt like, oh yeah, I'm so far away from home.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But still, that's a big like venue, you know. That's a big.
But then somehow
place.
you care less, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't know how you feel about that, but like I think in 2 weeks I play a concert, like a classical thing with orchestra in my hometown, and that's scary. Because like there are people in the audience who maybe know you a little.
I know you, yeah.
Like it's not a problem to play in front of your friends or like completely random people, but like people who've heard about you or know you through your family members or stuff like that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. I totally get you on that.
Yeah. Pete asks, when and where is your next performance?
I actually perform tomorrow morning, or tomorrow at 12 to 2 for a fall festival in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a solo kind of thing, or?
It's with a band that I actually recently joined. It's called Box of Books. It's kind of like a bluegrass band. They write their own originals too. Yeah, so it's really cool, and we're doing this thing where we're all surrounded around one microphone.
Oh, okay. I
So
see.
it's a very cool situation. I think like so the instruments are like upright bass, guitar, mandolin, violin, and then harmonica. and then 2 vocalists in it.
So are you playing diatonic harmonica in that setting exclusively, or also others?
At the moment, just diatonic. But when I first joined them, the bass player, or maybe they didn't have a new bass player yet, so I actually played bass harmonica for Christmas holiday gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you go about the volume then?
Yeah.
Like playing the diatonic harmonica? Like what would be your favorite model to play to be loud enough in that setting?
That's a good question. I mostly play special 20s and rocket lows. So they're all like closed on the side versus I don't have a anyway, like a marine band or something has the holes, the vents on the sides. So both the special 20s and the rocket lows are kind of built similarly. I just make do with that.
Yeah, okay.
Just make do with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
And
no specials like double thick reed plates or something like that.
Oh no, not yet. I mean, except the chromatic harmonica.
Oh yeah.
I did use it in a song. This the
nice.
Super 64X performance.
Yeah, I mean, I recently got one just a few days ago, right?
A few days ago. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw it in your photo. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Played it during a radio gig. It sounded really good. I needed that lower octave.
Yeah, exactly. And the low octave speaks so much differently with double thick reed plates. Yeah. That's actually something, because I do like customizing and stuff. That's something I have to explore more. You can own double reed plate harmonicas.
Yeah.
I have one on my desk. It's almost finished. Mm-hmm.
And have you been to Spa this year?
Yeah, I was there this year. It happened last month, almost exactly a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And that one I played with four different main performances, and I think pretty much all on the bass harmonica. I think that's right. I did do diatonic with one. But yeah, it was like a mixture of two harmonica trios. So that's a chord harmonica, bass harmonica, and chromatic, some sort of melody harmonica. And then another one with a kind of a harmonica orchestra. It was like an 8-piece band. We call it the Tom Stryker Big Band. So there's bass and a chord harmonica making up the rhythm section, and then there's like 7, and then one with an 8-piece or 9-piece band that was like a mixture of like it had a guitar and it had a bass guitar and a drum set, and then with the bass and the chord harmonicas and a couple vocalists. So it was a interesting thing. It was pretty cool.
Well, what was your highlight there at the Spa? And like, did you? I'm sure you met players that influenced your style over the years. There.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I think one of my highlights was I finally got to meet one person that really inspired me is Ross Guerin, who you interviewed on here, I don't know, maybe last year or so. We've talked on the phone before, I think through video chat like once or twice, and I've actually fixed a couple of his harmonicas before. But we finally got to meet face-to-face or in person, and that was one of the performances I performed in his set or for part of it. So that was super cool. He's one of the people that really inspired me to try out the bass harmonica and then maybe even the chord harmonica and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And I think playing with the harmonica big band again, that was really cool. Yeah.
Right. Pete says the Caesar Jam after hours is the best at Spa.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the Caesar
yeah,
jam?
yeah. Caesar, Caesar's a guy. His name is Donald Caesar. Everyone just calls him by his last name, I guess. And he's a really fun guy. Another Hohner artist as well. And he's besides playing harmonica, he's the most amazing entertainer, performer, and amazing drummer as well, and vocalist. And I kind of missed the jams this time because I was just running around with rehearsals and things like that so much. Like sometimes it was 4 different things in one day, so it was a lot of stuff. But the previous year, yeah, we had a couple jams together, got everyone in the lobby, in this hotel lobby, and like it just starts with like 3 of us. Last year was with like Richard Slay on guitar, Caesar on a kind of like a washboard percussion, and me on bass harmonica. And then all of a sudden we had like 40 people surrounding us in the lobby of a hotel, just jamming out for like 3 or 4 hours. It ended at like 2 or 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, amazing energy. Yeah.
So like playing, chromatic too, but also like these orchestral instruments, like that sounds kind of formal. And playing harmonica big band. So do you actually read music on the harmonica? And if so, on which instruments?
I read music on all of them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. So standard notation. I can also do some transposition too.
Yeah, so even different key diatonics.
Yeah, exactly. If it's like on the maybe G harmonica, D harmonica, F, B flat, and then a little bit like another sharp or another flat there, and it starts to get a little too tricky for spot on like sight reading transposition. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the bass harmonica reading, I mean, treble clef, bass clef, sure. That's fine.
Oh yeah, Shane is in the chat.
Hello.
Nice, yeah. Now we can talk
right now
about...
I'm on my phone, so I can't see the... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the YouTube chat, right. But yeah, and then now we can talk about customization and repairing harmonicas.
Oh, okay. That's
so
right. Shane, it's almost ready. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So how did you get involved in that? Like, was that an interest before playing harmonica already, like taking things apart and fixing things, or was it really about the instrument?
It was already before. I was like really fascinated with like looking at like instrument brochures and them talking about different like metals or different design features of instruments. Like, you know, sometimes it's just marketing, but they're like, oh, this one has more copper in, like if it was a trumpet or something like that. This one has more copper in the metal, so it like has this type of sound or something like that. It's a warmer sound, projects more or something.
Oh yeah.
And just watching like videos of instruments, it doesn't matter what kind of instrument. Just watching them videos like of a factory tour, it's pretty fascinating to me. But for the harmonica specifically, I started like playing diatonic in middle school. I heard it like on a soundtrack. It was actually from this very popular show or Japanese show called Cowboy Bebop. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of songs on there that feature like really, really fantastic diatonic harmonica. It's like amazing. Wow. So that started me on the instrument. And after like about maybe 4 years of playing just on my own, I didn't play like with a band or anything. It was just imitating that song and then whatever I could find that had harmonica in it. And then I stopped playing. So when I got into college and I entered the vocal program, I had all those harmonicas literally like in the closet in their case.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to start playing again, but it's kind of gross. Maybe let me try to clean them. And so that's kind of, you know, take it apart, you know, try to figure it out. And that's where it started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like some people out there are like afraid of like taking the harmonica apart or like maybe breaking stuff. I'm not sure. Of course, I like also like learned how to set up instruments a little, but there are so many people who can just do it way better than me.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, it's just like it's a skill. It's always evolving. Like I'm constantly experimenting with different stuff.
Yeah.
Even when there's like actual like learning materials, like you can buy like a video set from like Richard Slay or maybe like Andrew Zajac, to like pretty well-known customizers. There's certain stuff in there that like I don't know, maybe it just works for them, and something else works better for you as you're adjusting the reeds in different ways or something. And even for them, it's pretty cool because those two guys, I know for sure, like their techniques are always experimenting. So even though I have this video from Richard, maybe from 10 years ago, he's doing stuff. Yeah, always improving. So it's something that is really cool, because it's its own art form.
Yeah, it is. And it's so crazy that like there are quite a few people doing this for a living now. I mean, that's crazy, like to think about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And does it still happen to you that you're like working on a harmonica and it's like, oh no, I messed that up, I gotta exchange the reed or whatever?
Sometimes, and that's kind of why I don't like. Sometimes people will email me and they'll ask like, hey, I have this like harmonica, and basically they've had it for years or something like that, like they've been playing on it for a while, and they're like, I want you to customize this one, you know.
Yeah. And
like I've done that in the past, but part of customizing is I find part of it, if you do it more extensively, like the setup job, you have to manipulate and in some ways it is both a gentle process, but it's actually it's kind of stressful on the reeds. So if you have a harmonica that has like a lot of miles on it, or or someone wasn't playing with the best technique, then some of those reeds in that harmonica are ready to break in a short amount of time. Like anyone that's messed with a harmonica, like setup of a harmonica, like maybe you had a note that was jammed and you got the courage to take it apart and you're taking a look. I've worked on a few harmonicas where it was like you have it apart, and I mean, at this point, I already know which reed it is already and stuff like that. So I literally touch it and the reed snaps. Like I didn't apply any pressure. I just like touched it like this piece of paper, like really gentle, and the reed snapped because the reed had been totally fatigued. There was a micro crack in there. And so when you're customizing, and especially if you want to shape reeds, which is really, really important, it's very it can be a little bit stressful on the reeds.
Yeah.
So yes. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I also feel like customizing and repairing harmonicas requires a lot of patience, kind of. At least I always felt so, customizing my own instruments at some point. Because like the main thing for me was like always, oh yeah, like things are so different as soon as you put the covers back on and you screw it back together. You know, you could be like, oh yeah, now it's perfect. I'm going to put the cover plates on now. And then it's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. And that's for like various reasons, like the amount of pressure that's put onto the harmonica as it's together, or just the resonance, like how it changes the shape of your embouchure. Yeah, it's all different. And to be in a rush setup, like I've done it before. Like I needed a harmonica that was in A flat, and I didn't have one ready, so like I customized it like the day before for a recording gig.
Yeah.
And it's risky because it's not just that like you move the reeds and they just stay there. They change over time.
Yeah.
And the changes are like sometimes you can't even see it really. It's like very much on a micro level, and the playability will change.
Yeah.
So it's and that's not even talking about tuning. So yeah, so it does require a lot of patience, and you're fighting a lot of different factors because from any company, the way that the reeds are milled, like sometimes, even though I have an A harmonica here and I have 5 A harmonicas, it could be from the same batch even or slightly different batch. Like the reeds are all built a little bit differently from the factory setup. The different factors in the reed are different. Even though they're all the A harmonica, they're all this model, Special 20, or it could be any brand of harmonica. It's always like that. There's so many different variables that it's not just like, oh, if I do this and this and this, it'll play exactly like this one. It's not totally that. Every single one has its own kind of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Patience.
Yeah. The patience and yeah. But like it's always such a great feeling playing a really nice harmonica,
Yeah.
So it's worth
doing
it.
that stuff like right before the gig or something, that can be risky. Philip Jur is a risky guy. Like the times I met him, like at the Fan Harmonica Festival, like right before his performance, I think, he took some of his harmonicas apart and like cleaned them. I would never do that. I would be afraid some piece of something gets into the reed slot or something, and then also in Seoul at the Seoul International Harmonica Festival, I think like the day before his performance, he was like, "Oh yeah, I need a new C harmonica." So he like, first day of the festival, he's just in his room customizing a new C harmonica. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's risky.
But,
and then it's like
really cool too.
It's like, yeah. It's like, then you gotta have it ready by whenever you need to play it, But yes, that would be a little bit risky if it was like I need to fully set up that harmonica for it. Oh, hopefully the video didn't freeze that badly.
Oh, no, you're still moving. Yeah.
Let's see. I have full signal.
Oh yeah, I can still see you.
Anyway,
You're
okay,
moving.
Our video's back on. Okay. Yeah, if it was like the slide of a chromatic harmonica, that's kind of no problem. Like, if you gotta clean the slide, yeah, do it. If you gotta clear a reed, I think it might be okay, but sure.
Yeah.
There's always a risk. It's always a risk.
So
yeah,
you also teach harmonica, right? Both in person and online?
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So what do you find like most rewarding about teaching harmonica?
Really, it's just helping people get to where they want to be. If they want to play the harmonica better, and if I can help them, that'd be great. Like, sometimes it's like complete beginners, like they're picking up the harmonica for the first time, and that's always exciting because have more harmonica players. That's amazing. You know? People are excited for the instrument. Yeah, sure.
I also feel like people starting out the instrument.
Like people that are playing for a long time, but they struggle to get their bends really nice and clean.
Yeah, we're just noticing our 2-second delay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, sorry. Cut. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just thinking about the total beginners, like especially if they haven't played any other instruments before. Like you can really tell a lot about their personality if they start out playing the instrument, and they will also find a whole lot about themselves too. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. I like beginners too. Yeah.
Yeah, total beginners. And then a lot of other students they've been playing for maybe a long time. Some usually they're not really playing in a band, but they've been playing for maybe 5, 10, 20 years. And sometimes they still struggle with like getting their bends cleanly, or they're getting to the point where they want to play different music that requires a little bit more precision with the bends, or like different chord changes maybe that, you know, they need that 3 draw, half step bend. They need that like to be right on the money. And so helping them get this technique down, the build on it is a fun process.
Yeah. What would you say are still like the reasons for using a regular diatonic harmonica for that stuff, when you could also play chromatic or like something like a trochilus and like, you know, a diatonic with a slide, whatever?
Yeah, that's a good question. That the trochilus, I bought one at Spa. I didn't try it yet, but it sounds amazing. People are doing like amazing stuff on it, and I never had that the Coke chromatic, the 10-hole without valves, which it's kind of based on. I've never had that experience yet. But to play a regular diatonic, one of the reasons is just for its unique sound by itself and its affordability, and also it's easy to buy in a store. I know, obviously, nowadays, brick and mortar store, physical store, music stores, they're kind of rare here in the U.S.
Yeah.
At least. So to be like, I want to go get a harmonica, you know, go to a store. Now you can get it online, so it kind of changes the game a little bit. Chromatic harmonicas are like, they tend to be more expensive, and they require more regular maintenance.
True,
because you have the wind savers, you have the slide, which eventually will stick or slow down. And I have a student that I teach in person, and during more than a couple of our lessons, their harmonica just drops on the floor. They're diatonic. It's not that bad if it's a diatonic.
Yeah.
You know, but it did knock a reed out of alignment before during the lesson, so I fixed it for him there. But with a chromatic, they almost always, for some reason, drop on the slide. And then depending on how bad the damage is, you might need to get a new slide, or sometimes it'll break the comb. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually my instruments never fall down.
Same, but things happen.
But I mean, I told this before, but I still think it's funny that there was a show I played a CX12. Isn't she lovely? I played the melody on the chromatic just to get that sound, because everybody wanted to hear that Stevie Wonder sound, you know. But then for the solos, I switched over to the diatonic. So like, it was like a December kind of thing. We played like 8 shows in a row. It was always the same, and every single time, every single night, I just let the CX12 drop to the floor, switching to the diatonic, and that went well. Just one time, the CX12 just fell apart completely, because you know how it's built. And every band member was like, "Oh no, your harmonica is just died." But I was just like, "Don't worry, it's a CX12."
So the shell didn't break?
No, like nothing. It was awesome.
That's good. Well, lucky you. The shells, yeah. It's possible for the shell to break, and then it's like then you can't really use it. You have to try to fix the shell.
Interesting topic.
But wow.
Pete says a light coating vegetable oil is good for the slide sometimes. What's your favorite oil for the slide of a chromatic?
Yeah, for the slide, sometimes I'm using right now I think it's the Suzuki slide oil, but they don't really need oil.
Yeah.
They don't really need oil. Yeah. Right now I'm using a little bit of that to maybe try to make things just a little bit more airtight.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because with the way the slides work, they have to have enough of a clearance, enough of a space that's a little larger than the slide to allow it to move freely. If it's too tight, then things would be squeezed together and the slide would be frozen. And having a little bit more space, it does mean that there's a little bit of an air leak. But then you have to factor in like the amount of condensation from our breath, a little bit of moisture, a little bit of saliva too.
Yeah.
Anything else that gets into the harmonica. So those little bit of extra clearance space for the slide to move starts to get clogged up by those things. So things actually cannot be too tight, but from the factory for a lot of chromatics, they could be tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the oil itself will help close up a little bit of space.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the slide is like super important. At least for me, like also
Definitely.
like not only the noise thing, but also just how smooth that feels. Because like especially as a diatonic player, it's like that's like the one element that's new, you know. So
the slide,
the more immediate response I get from the slide, and the less it feels like physically pushing that button, the better, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With like when I customize chromatic harmonicas, I'm adjusting slide for like really old harmonicas, chromatic harmonicas, and it's like a lot of force.
Yeah.
You look at that spring too, and the old spring metal was really thick. And it's just like, oh, this is crazy. You know? And then sometimes they're a little too light. And so everyone is a little bit different. So I adjust the tension of the spring.
Yeah.
And it allows like you can kind of dial it in to get the right tension.
So what's your favorite tension setting on the 64X?
The 64X, I'm using like the hardest tension.
Oh yeah.
The highest tension.
Same.
Yeah. It's yeah. Actually, I think that the spring strength is a little too weak. So like maximum tension for me right now, it feels the best.
Yeah.
It's not very strong compared to a lot of other chromatic harmonicas, actually.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But it's a nice idea. We're talking about for all those people that don't know, it's a little screw here.
Yeah.
And then so you can take a screwdriver and actually you're moving a little mechanism on the inside of the harmonica, and so you can make it a lot like faster to use. So I don't know if this is a good way to, if I rest the harmonica, well, it's going all the way down if I just rest it by its own weight. But if I made the spring tension a lot looser, the harmonica would slide down like immediately. Like there would be no pushback at all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel there are like a few players out there who also don't use any spring at all and just have the slide kind of attached to their fingers, right?
I saw that, yeah. Maybe Brendan Power was one person. I was actually talking about another spa. and his name is Mike Easton. He's been in the business for a long time, since like the 1990s, and he's come up with his own techniques. And apparently, he started the thing. He might have been the first person ever to use magnets, so no spring at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just use magnets on the button, and he did it to a CX12.
Okay.
So it's the magnets are going against each other, so that's how it springs back out.
Oh yeah, I see.
That way there's and there's like less noise with the CX12. I think there was like a little less noise. The action, I guess, felt a little bit better. I'm not really sure. I didn't get to try it, and you would never have to worry about the spring breaking. I don't think that really ever happens on the CX12, but I mean, you know, for other chromatic harmonicas of any brand, the spring will eventually wear out.
Yeah, I mean, the tension will always stay the same with the magnets, right?
I would think so, unless if you, I guess, dropped it or demagnetized the magnet.
Yeah.
But that'd be crazy. Let me make sure we're all good.
But that's an amazing idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get to meet some other players, other customizers, you know, and like they come up with their own stuff over time, and you know, it's really cool. Sometimes the experiments don't work out at all, and sometimes they do. Like that magnet idea is genius, I think.
Yeah. How do you push the slide actually? Like which part of your hand or your finger do you use? Because that's also different with many players.
Yeah. I'm doing it with like the middle of my finger, maybe close to this part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also like more like using the lower third of my finger, yeah.
The lower third, yeah. Let me show this off. I like this one.
Oh yeah.
I put a skull. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, just it's a little hard to see right now because the lighting's not great. Yeah, I lost the button, or I bought this one. It's an old CX Super 64.
Yeah,
X,
right.
And I bought it for really cheap because the button was gone. And then I was like, oh, let me put this on. So I put a skull on it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Shane also pushes the slide just like that, right?
Oh yeah, I was and he was doing that at Spa, and Shane was another. I mean, Shane, Hank Shreve, a couple players that I've heard a lot. Some of them I've messaged with Shane before because I customized a couple of harmonicas for him. But like Shane and Hank Shreve and a couple other players like check out their videos. It was amazing at Spa. So good to meet you in person, Shane. After a couple years, yeah. But yeah, I did see him
all in the fingertip
with his fingertip. Yeah, that's the secret to his great playing.
Yeah, and then there are players using their thumbs, you know.
I saw that. Yeah. Seen that not very often, but surprisingly, and people are moving fast.
Oh yeah.
Using their thumb.
I think it might be a little harder to get fast with that. You might have to practice with the thumb, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Or like for more some trills, like especially I feel like classical players are more like maybe they use their whole hand, you know?
Yeah,
I've seen that before too.
I think some trills like I think there's like the F to G trill. So you use like the blow, like E sharp, and then you're blowing out, and you actually slide the harmonica to get the G next to it. So it'd be like hole 2 to hole 3.
I see.
And it's a lot easier to get it. You're kind of pushing the harmonica. Your left hand's pushing the harmonica back and forth, like you're doing a shake. And
I see.
It's easier to get that.
I gotta practice that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it on.
Can you do that trill again?
What that is? Yeah. So that's E to G, blowing straight across. It's smoother to get that trill because your breath is just moving in the same direction instead of. I'm sure there's someone out there that can go blow, draw, switching the hole to play F without the slide. I'm sure people can do it fast and cleanly, but it is easier to get it smooth and fast with the slide. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that trill.
Yeah, I need to work on it too. But if you watch some really great players and they're playing Rhapsody in Blue, that first trill, and it's that F to G, and that's when I was like watching videos of different players, like some of them are using that technique. It was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I wonder why they're doing. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Shane says that would be a cool trill for your My Funny Valentine. Oh yeah, that's true. Just in the key of C minor, right? Yeah, it's so cool. Just making use of the blow F and the draw C, also in the key of F minor and stuff. I just got to get used to that. So that's the trill we were talking about, right?
Yeah, that's the trill.
I gotta work on that. I never did that before.
Yeah. Focus more on the. Yeah, just moving your left hand.
Yeah, it's really just like this is fixed, right?
Yeah, stationary.
Yeah, this has to be.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, you're right. And it would work on other trills like that too. Like, that E flat to F. So you're drawing in instead. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's always like amazing what people figure out. So I'm just checking my battery here. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are definitely players that are amazing, but they never do that.
Exactly. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh yeah, there's someone out there that can do it. Play it nice, clean, fast, and easily, and not doing that trick. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Pete asks, Boaz, how do we get in touch with you to customize a harp? Facebook?
Try my website, which is boazkimmusic.com. So that would be BoazKimmusic.com. And there's a form to fill out to customize harmonicas. So for customizing, like we kind of like talked about before, like I prefer to customize like a new instruments. I have some new harmonicas in stock here because the reeds have basically their full lifespan. It hasn't been played before, and definitely no one has reached into the instrument like a player. I've had that, like, people say, hey, can you fix this or something, and then I open up the instrument and like the reeds are really like damaged or shaped in different ways. And it's because they reached in there and just hit the reeds in the wrong way with too much force. So another thing that isn't talked about enough is like newer instruments with like anything. The instruments are of their quality. So if you buy an instrument like a diatonic harmonica that like is a great chromatic playing instrument, as good as you can get it, the newer instruments are just built better in general. Yeah, the way that Hohner's with Hohner, like the Yeah, you can see it in the past like 15 years or so. There's a lot more consistency. Tolerances are tighter, so there's less space around the reeds. The way that the reeds are cut are more clean in general. So.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why you're
Yeah.
a Hohner artist.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Hohner's doing a good job. So I'm glad like they I haven't tried like the new Golden Melody, but the special 20s, like I've opened up maybe about 15 of them, like brand new from the box, and like generally like they're pretty consistently built. I even made a video on my YouTube video. It's like very like low tech video, but I have a special 20 in C completely out of the box, and I've played on it for like 2 years. And in general, the setup is really, really good.
Yeah.
It bends easily, and the overblows are like you can use them as passing notes, and some of them they sustain pretty well. So, if like I'm trying to recommend the harmonica to someone, like yeah, the special 20 is like really, really solid in general. It's economic. It sounds good. It's using good materials, and generally the setup is very, very consistent and good. Yeah. How about for yourself? Do you like you have your customized harmonicas that are like special 20 / marine band kind of built, like Howard Levy has that kind of build, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, before I tried different stuff, and like back in the days there was also like a German online harmonica shop called Harp Online, and they also did like some basic customization. So I played some marine bands with like acrylic combs, and I tried a lot, and like
Cool.
also had a time where I played 100% tongue blocked, because I was that huge Dennis Grunling fan, and I was like, I gotta do that too, and play overblows tongue blocked and everything. So then
Yeah.
I was like a marine band guy, and I was like holding the instrument like that, you know?
Oh, you did that hold?
And I practiced like amplified
right.
playing and having a huge tone, and I did
Wow.
that for some months, and then I went back to lip pursing completely.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
But now I'm like super flexible, so that's good. Like if I'm still in the tongue block shape, I don't have to worry. I can still continue playing no matter what happens next, you know?
That's good.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. And then it was always for me,
Yeah, I'm
playing jazz
I'm
and
kind
learning
of a
jazz.
hybrid player too.
there was always Golden Melody.
Right, I saw your videos from. You must have been like 12. You must have been like 12 years old in those Hohner videos for the Golden Melody.
Oh, I see.
And maybe
Yeah.
you were older than 12. Yeah.
Yeah, a little older, but yeah. And maybe that's why I also got used to the closed cover plates on the sides. Got used to that sound. So yeah, that's why I use the Special 20 cover plates. But there's still one key harmonica that's not customized, which is the D. And that's a Golden Melody. Yeah. And I just set it up
Nice.
myself. I just did some gapping and like, it's really good. I can bend the
Yeah.
overblows
Nice.
and that's it. So this is how far you can
Yeah,
get
sometimes
just
you
by
can't get
gapping.
'em like that from the factory. Oh, you adjusted the gaps too.
And it's just gapping.
Yeah.
And it's still all there, all the blow notes, and I can bend the overblows quite a bit.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but recommending to other people, I'm a huge fan of the Rocket Low amp. Or like the Rocket amp with the closed cover plates.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I tried a Rocket before though, and I like it.
And I feel like the Rocket Lows are the best low harmonicas out there.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, they're like built like a Special 20, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, I have a couple. This one I customized down to low A. It started its life as a low D, I think. So I did a couple of things to it. I mean, besides dropping the tuning of each reed, you might be able to see the cover plate. Here's the low end.
Oh yeah,
I don't know the shape. I did the Thunderbird shape.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's really real nice. It's got the closed cover plates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Like lately, we had quite a few live streams on the connection between harmonica and health. Like, do you see any connection there, or like is that's a personal thing maybe? Like, have you ever felt a difference playing the harmonica? Did it help you in some way?
Yeah. I think mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
I guess what you would get endorphins from playing music, creating music, creating a beautiful sound. Even something like this, low harmonica, this custom low A that I made, like it's a beautiful sound by itself. There's nothing technical. I'm just breathing in, breathing out with a relaxed breath. So I think it's mostly that, and then with the breathing too. You're expanding your lungs more, so more oxygen's going throughout your body. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because like after all these streams, I'm also like, I felt really inspired, and like I should get a low tuned harmonica just to breathe. And maybe make it a routine in the morning just to breathe through my low F or something like that, you know? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. There's if people got a chord harmonica, which like you're breathing through eight reeds at the same time. So like usually on the diatonic, we're breathing through maybe 5 at most, like, wide open. That was 6. But that's like really wide open. That's a little unusual. But like a chord harmonica, just because there's so many reeds in each channel, there's actually 16 reeds. There's 8 on top, 8 on the bottom, and they got wind sabers, but you're still breathing through 8 at the same time.
Yeah.
And you'll expand your lungs like pretty fast. Yeah. And if you have like an old chord harmonica, those things are usually a lot more leaky, and you'll use up your breath real fast.
Yeah. So like nowadays, are there still harmonica players out there you listen to in your free time? Or do you prefer to non-harmonica music?
Yeah, definitely. I'm like a mix of everything. I listen to different players for like inspiration. So it would be like Buddy Green, Howard Levy, anyone I can find on YouTube, Konstantin Reinfeld. Just like I still listen to a fair amount of music that features the harmonica, and then some stuff that's like a little bit more unusual, because like I know how to play the chord harmonica and the bass harmonica too, just here. But this like harmonica ensemble thing is still fairly new to me. I just kind of, so I didn't like start listening to harmonica ensembles. I didn't I mean, earlier in my life I didn't. So it's like still a fascinating thing to me. Harmonica trio or bigger ensembles. So like, especially now with like a lot of fantastic groups from Malaysia and Taiwan, and also Hong Kong, it's like, especially there where it's like really thriving still. I'm listening to them and watching them because I mean, there's no bass harmonica teachers really. I mean, I teach it, but like, um, because they focus on it so much there, it's thriving so much. Like they're clearly learning and developing their own stuff. And then also just the musical arrangement. So that one is like that's all harmonicas. That's like sometimes 5 or 6 harmonicas at the same time. And I'm listening to that actually at least once a day.
I see.
Some group. Yeah.
So, what kind of equipment do you like to use on stage and recording?
Recording, yeah. So on stage, I use kind of like whatever they have at the venue. It could be like a standard vocal microphone. So if it's like a clean sound, that's what you're using. Could be Shure 58, Shure SM58, SM57, or whatever. If we're using like if we want like that distorted tone, like a bullet microphone, like this one, the Hohner came out with, the HB52, it's actually like a really. I got this actually right before Hohner contacted me.
Oh yeah.
So I bought this one, and
I actually
really
did the
fantastic.
Prototype test and everything.
It's really close,
but they never sent me one.
Vintage green bullets and JT30s. You did? Oh no! Oh no! But that's really exciting. I would love to do more product testing, actually.
Yeah.
But this one I'm using a bullet mic like this, or I have a vintage green bullet or a JT30 with a green bullet element, a CM in it. So for that distorted sound, if I can play through a tube amp, that's fantastic. It'll do its own thing, distort naturally, or I'll use like a Lone Wolf, a pedal that has a tube in it.
Oh yeah.
Lone Wolf Harp Attack is like really sweet. You can plug into the PA system like a totally like clean speaker, and you can still get a nice like very convincing sound that sounds like you're playing through him, or the distortion. So that would be like for the diatonics and chromatics, and then also have a Greg Human, like a Blows Me Away. It's obviously not the right mic. It sounds serious, but it's like a short Shure 545. It's like a SM57, and he like cuts it short and makes his own barrel. It has a volume control, so it's like a lot nicer to hold, and the volume control is very sweet to have. So that's another thing. If I'm like more on the move or doing handheld stuff with a clean sound relatively. That mic's pretty flexible too. Because it a little bit naturally if you tightly. And then like the bass harmonica, it has sound once. The harmonica will be like on the stand. The bass harmonica can be a microphone on the stand because the bass, it's kind of interesting. The bass is very growly. I know the microphone's here, so it might sound a little weird, but so it's a very growly sound. That might be something that you like. Sometimes you want a little bit more bass response, or you want a little bit more freedom on stage. So I use one of 2 clip-on microphones.
Okay, yeah.
This one I used for a long time, and this one is actually made by Suzuki. And it clips onto the back of the harmonica like this. And then I have another that I recently bought from Dror Adler. He actually basically designed this. Suzuki based it off his invention, and it clips on the back. And both mics have like a very different sound. Overall, they give you a lot more bass response. If I'm off center with the microphone, it'll be a good sound. I'm like really centered, like if it's a microphone on a stand. But if I move this far,
Yeah,
the
of
sound,
course.
the volume will drop out, the tone will drop out a lot because you don't have your hands like directing, like making it like the bell of the instrument. So I use those. Yeah.
But that kind of something
basically
that could be a topic with a 16-hole chromatic too already, right? Like if you play in the upper octave, but you only hold your mic here, like do you move along to where you're playing, or what do you do if you're doing the handheld thing with the chromatic?
Yeah. I think if you keep it in like one spot somewhere like on the lower middle end, like I was watching some videos of Gregoire Moret, and he's holding it at the top end.
Yeah.
So you're looking at him with a microphone here.
Right.
He's holding it like here. Vanek Pren is holding it towards the lower end. Some other players like Marcus Milius and stuff, they're holding it like at the lower end, kind of where I naturally hold it. And the sound is basically fine. But I was like doing some experiments at home. Like if you listen to some Rod Piazza stuff, and he has this one song called Harp Attack, and it's like fantastic, like D minor, like classic third position minor blues, lots of chords on the chromatic, 16-hole chromatic. And you can only get that like really, really deep distortion on the low end if you like really focus it and cup it there.
Yeah.
Like I was doing experiments at home and I'm like, oh wow, like, yeah, the sound really changes. Even if I'm holding it close like that, like if I really just cup it there at the low end, it's like a lot more beefy of a sound.
Okay.
Yeah. But in general, yeah, you can keep it in one spot and it'll be okay.
Nice. Yeah, that's some good stuff. There's like a lot of
real
new stuff
quick
to
to,
consider playing the chromatic.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we covered a lot of stuff. And
Yeah, a lot of stuff, for sure.
people can check out the description box. I got your website there, your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Anything else I should add?
Not right now. I don't think so. How about like check out Box of Books, the band.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If you're local, I'm playing tomorrow in Westchester, Pennsylvania, at Matlack Florist for the Fall Festival. Check out some other artists that I play with. Lisa Jeanette just released a song that's like on the top 10 for folk music. For some, I don't know which chart it is exactly. Or Liz Miller band. So yeah, you can check me out there. Reach out to me on my website. Stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Added the Books of Box website. So.
Box of Books. Yeah. Thanks. If anything, I can send you the link, and if there needs to be any corrections. Yeah.
Got it. Nice.
Was there ever a day that you were interested in the bass harmonica or chord harmonica or any? No.
Not really so far. I think I was a little inspired for like 2 hours after talking to Ross, but it didn't last too long.
It didn't last too long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like,
and now playing really a little more chromatic, I feel like
it's kind of enough to handle.
Exactly.
I get that. I get that totally.
So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Well, you got to check out. I think there's. Yeah. Speaking of chromatic, I made this one down an octave. It's another. Oh wait, it's not this one. It's another. This one. See, even shape the cover plates a little differently. And I dropped it down an octave. So I think there's another company, maybe it's not Hohner, but there's another company that makes like a 12-hole down into 1 octave lower. You can check it out. Yeah, it's kind of wild, but
yeah,
just wanted to show that off. And yeah, it's kind of nice because then you don't have to learn new placements of notes and stuff like that. It's a chromatic harmonica shape, so
yeah. That's really cool. Ending this episode on a low.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Nice. Yeah, that was really cool. Thank you for joining us and taking the time.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, everybody, check out the description box. See you next month for more Hohner Lives, and the day after tomorrow on Sunday, we got the Ballad Harmonica Challenge going on Twitch at 6 p.m. German time. Still summertime. So, yeah, looking forward to listen to some ballads while we are in this sentimental autumn mood, kind of. We got some great submissions already and a lot of chromatic playing. Really looking forward to that. So, see you then. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.
My lady, you know me, no forgive up on you never. Wanna be with you forever, 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 forever. Oh baby, where we they go? Now forward ever, backward never. Them they pray, make we run down never, 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 never. I'ma get that low. Girl, you're the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know. Money go check low. Girl, you're the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know. They never know. They never know. Without you, baby, the journey go too rough. So you know, girl, I be feeling this love. Even when I'm down, you wanna waiting this up. It's not blessing, I'ma no be luck. Baby, nobody feel day like you. I say nobody feel make me feel the way you do. I'ma get that low. Girl, you're the best I know. Our next move, they never know. They never know. Money go check low. Girl, you're the best I